It's crazy. Nah, I don't think. And somebody said, do you think he's a good father? No, man. Blue is a horrible father, in my opinion. This is my personal opinion. You know what I mean? And the way I say that is because he could have put them boys in sports. You know what I'm saying? He could have did anything. Anytime you on drive-bys and things like that with your kids, and you going and pulling off drills and your son is there with you, nah, man, you dead wrong. You know what I mean? Every instinct as a father should tell you, no, my kid is not going to be involved in none of this or around any of this. You know what I mean? But he took it a different way, man. It's crazy. Now, we've been talking about this for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I wanted to get to some of the other topics that I talked about we're going to discuss in this live and move on to them. And the first one being this whole situation that's going on with Rick Ross and 50 Cent. So let's get to that. Let's talk about 50 Cent and Rick Ross, right? So for some reason, 50 Cent and Rick Ross are back at it, man. And it has a lot to do with the fact that Diddy's case, well, okay. So Diddy had his case and pretty much beat his RICO, right? We can say he beat the RICO, right? In the RICO case that he beat, though, he's still at the mercy of the court, and in the federal system, he's at the mercy of the judge. So there's a judge.
What's 50 Cent doing? Are y'all battle rapping? Is it beef, real beef?
My bad. Before we get to that, just to lead up to this story. So Rick Ross is obviously in the past been closely affiliated with Diddy, right? Been cool with Diddy. You've seen him in the videos for like a lot of his songs, hit songs, things like that. They've had a decent relationship or whatnot. Rick Ross and 50 Cent have had an ongoing beef since about 2007, 2008, I want to say. Since the Pimpin' Curly series and all that. Well, things have kind of died down since then because, you know, back then they were both in their 30s, but now they're in their late 40s, early 50s. But what's crazy about this is almost 18 years later, this beef is obviously still on the burner. This beef is obviously still active and going. And what you have is Rick Ross kind of responded to 50 Cent being happy at the fact that Diddy was not going to be pardoned by, that Diddy would not be pardoned by the current administration. Diddy and his camp were looking at the possibility of having the current administration just federally pardon Diddy because this is a federal case. It was a federal RICO that he beat. This is a federal case. The two lesser charges that he's being held for are lesser charges, and it looked like that he could possibly get pardoned by Trump. Now, him and the current administration, or the leader of the current administration, I'm trying to say it as least as possible because I don't want to get any type of political flags or anything like that because, you know, I don't do politics. I do rap, I do hip-hop, I do drill, I do all that. Rap is my thing, you know what I'm saying? You know, politics, do as you do. You know, I don't care too much about it outside of hip-hop, right? But,
Sean Diddy Combs.
This whole situation started because of 50 Cent making some posts on his social media. So before we get to Rick Ross's response in defense sort of Diddy and kind of talking about the fact that there's rumors that 50 Cent's baby mom was all up in this trial as the Jane Doe. I haven't seen any proof, so I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what the streets are saying. There's some real shade being thrown back and forth. So, man, before we get to what Rick Ross is said, let's actually look at what 50 Cent said to kind of lead up to all this. So this is from 50 Cent's page and what he had put out there as far as this case is concerned.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something. But
Yeah.
Half innocent is a way to put it.
he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. And seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I...
Yo, and outside of that, like I said earlier, man, I ain't doing no politics, man. So Don't be putting me in the political bag or none of that, man. I do hip hop, drill rap, and all that. But man, let's continue. I know because of the face on the screen, people gonna be tripping.
He ran for office. He was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's hard, you know. Like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest,
Yeah.
it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I
it
would
sounds
say
like.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
And what about George Santos?
Now, leaving all that, the rest of that to the side, 50 Cent, obviously because of his ongoing beef with Diddy, and man, this is crazy, and this is on a side note. Who knew that their beef was this detailed and deep? I'm talking about people messing with other people's baby moms behind the scenes and we didn't know it. People messing with other people's girls. Like this has been going on between Diddy and 50 Cent, according to the streets, for a long time before it was even public. Like they were kind of cordial. 50 Cent had wrote songs up at Bad Boy, but it all revolves around, guess what? Some women. Like who was dealing with who was sleeping with who. All that led to this beef between these two. But 50 Cent is never gonna miss an opportunity to troll. As you see, it was said that, Diddy had went a different way and had started basically dissing the current administration. So the current administration doesn't feel it necessary to reach out there and use their federal powers to pardon him. If this isn't a clear example of, watch who, what is it? The law of power that says, watch who you offend. Bruh, this is it right here. Because in just one sweep, the current administration could say, federally pardon him, boom. It's a federal case. I got the power, boom, send him home. You know what I'm saying? That quick. We seen it with NBA Youngboy. We seen it with Larry Hoover. It can be done that quick. But because of previous comments, it looks like that's not going to happen, which is wild, bruh. So, Diddy is still at the mercy of this judge, where there was a potential where he could have been, sent home, federally, pardoned. Like I said, you know what I mean? But now, 50 Cent, they've been having their beef, so he took this as an opportunity to diss him more. He said, I told you, and this is me saying this in my 50 Cent voice. I told you I was going to tell him what you said, brother love. Now, don't forget all the nasty things you said, laughing out loud. Now, basically, this is 50 Cent throwing another jab at Diddy, calling him Brother Love, because remember, he did for a second change his name to Brother Love. And Diddy, I know you got a lot of power out here. I seen what happened on social media, on other platforms that I'm not going to name. I ain't the one coming at you, man. I ain't got no issues with you, Diddy. This is 50 Cent, and I'm just reacting to it. You know what I'm saying? Now, 50 Cent obviously was throwing shade because it looks like Diddy is not going to get that federal pardon. But he did it in there. He also said this. He posted this picture with him and the current administration and basically said, can you believe he thought he was getting pardoned? No, sir, you are not. You said very nasty things with a finger pointing and the shocked emoji, man. I'm telling you, 50 Cent is A1 trolling, man. He's been trolling people and broken this down to an art form since back in the day when he was going at Ja Rule. He just knows how to troll somebody in hip hop. He knows the barriers to cross, the barriers not to cross. He knows the rules of the street, how to incorporate those, and how to just have you looking foolish out here when he wants to. So definitely, 50 Cent is going to take an opportunity to do so. But with that being said, let's get to this next part of this upsetting Rick Ross. So Rick Ross took this obviously some sort of way, right? And Rick Ross made his own post on social media to kind of combat some of the things that 50 Cent had said in that post dissing Diddy. You know what I mean?
Say this. What you and 50 Cent doing? Are y'all battle rapping? Is it beef, real beef? Well, I'm gonna say this. Beef, it could be complicated, but I done took 50 Cent youngest son, Bruce Leroy.
Now, I don't know why he's calling his son Bruce Leroy. You know, this is very immature and stuff like that. But we're going to continue and let him say his piece. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. These guys are too old for this, right? Nah, man, to be honest, hip-hop at this point, the Clips didn't, and everybody else, they didn't, hip-hop ain't got an age limit no more at this point, right?
AKA, what? I done took him fishing before. And he loved when I do the what noise. You know, I used to.
Why? Why is he doing that, man? This is not funny. This is not funny, man. And to be real, why is Rick Ross 50 Cent's kryptonite? Why is he the only person who could ever get back at 50 Cent with the dissing online and it actually stick and do something, you know? And I am not taking Rick Ross's side. I don't think he's winning. But, you know, I don't know why he said what he just said, man. That was immature, man. You know what I'm saying? Bruh.
To see him all the time over there. But I guess one day his mom may have been creating content.
Now, anybody who kept up with the Diddy trial knows what was implied that one of the Jane Does was doing in order to, you know, create content or to further what was going on in Diddy's operations, allegedly, right? Bruh. So for Rick Ross to be implying that she was over in Star Island, I don't know, maybe Diddy has a house in Star Island or something like that. Creating content is wild, bruh. I ain't saying this, yo. This is Rick Ross. Yo, I like 50 Cent. I like Rick Ross. I like them both. Rick Ross is just coming back with some heat right here.
On Star Island somewhere, and he was walking around on his second lap. I invited him to the back of my crib. I put bread on a fishing pole, cast it. I watched Bruce Leroy catch his first Dover sole. Man, I felt proud. What? Little man, what's up, though?
Bruh. Why does he keep doing that, man? This is immature, man. This is wrong.
So 50, look, I mentioned your youngest son, Bruce Leroy. Me taking him fishing for the first time, watching him catch his first Dover sole. That ain't a snapper. Now, but me and my buddies, we was talking about little man possibly suffering with trauma in the future. And I said, okay, that's something.
This is wrong, man. This is messed up, man. Come on, man, Rick Ross, man. This is crazy, man. You're talking about an innocent kid in this situation. You know what I'm saying? This is messed up, though. I ain't gonna lie. This is kind of messed up, bro. You know what I mean? But to be honest, why does he keep calling him that, right? Like, let's go.
I never thought about trauma. But if he is suffering from trauma or needs any assistance, I'm gonna be here for him. I would love to get him a puppy.
Get him a puppy is crazy, bruh. That is crazy, man. At this point, if you 50 Cent, I mean, is it throwing hands time? Somebody talk about your son in this way and start talking about buying him a puppy and stuff like that? This is wild, bruh. I don't know. All I do know is Rick Ross better watch out because 50 Cent is no slouch when it comes to trolling, man. And he will always come back with some heat.
50, look, I mentioned your youngest son, Bruce Leroy. Me taking him fishing for the first time, watching him catch his first.
Now, I don't know why he keeps referring to his son as Bruce Leroy. That's messed up. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on there. But, you know, this is the rest of what he said. I just wanted to continue with the rest of what he said so you guys can see where this went. You know what I'm saying? Because he talks about getting his son a puppy and he continues on from there.
Dover sole. That ain't a snapper. Now, but me and my buddies, we was talking about little man possibly suffering with trauma in the future. And I said, okay, that's something I never thought about, trauma. But if he is suffering from trauma or needs any assistance, I'm gonna be here for him. I would love to get him a puppy. What kind of puppy? Chihuahua? All right.
Now, Rick Ross has obviously been taking pointers from 50 Cent as far as the trolling game. Saying he's going to get him a puppy and possibly a chihuahua is wild, man. That's pretty wild, man.
A chihuahua for Bruce Leroy.
Crazy, man. So it seems like, man, this whole back and forth between Rick Ross and 50 Cent is not going to find its end anytime soon. You know what I mean? And it's wild to see that Rick Ross has the ability to actually come back on 50 Cent like nobody else can. Because even back in the day when they were beefing, you know, they were going back and forth. You know, that was kind of, it was like, it kind of just, it came to a dead end. It wasn't like Rick Ross had lost that battle to 50 Cent. Even though, rapping, trust me, trust and believe, I believe that 50 Cent wins almost all battles. It's just the Rick Ross battle was just a thorn in his side. It was the one time where I feel like he came out, you know, I hate to call it a tie, but it did seem like, you know, like Rick Ross was coming back with some heat on 50 Cent just as much as 50 Cent was coming back with the pimping, curly, and all that on Rick Ross, man. But there was another situation that I don't know if y'all seen, man. It was a couple weeks back, and that's when this beef really started to heat back up. But Rick Ross was on a yacht, and he was on a yacht, and it was with some young lady, and I don't know what the situation was with that, but it looked like 50 Cent had tried to paint a picture like Rick Ross wasn't on the yacht with a young lady, you know, that he was on the yacht with somebody other than a young lady. You know what I mean? As wild as that sounds. And that's really kind of what heated things back up, to be real with you. Besides the fact that 50 Cent has been continually poking at Diddy throughout his trial and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The post that he made just today being the latest that we showed. And then obviously the situations that have taken place since then between him and Rick Ross that have kind of gone cold and fallen on deaf ears. But this stuff is starting to grow legs, and it looks like this Rick Ross and 50 Cent beef is right back to heating back up, man. You know what I mean? It's a crazy one, man. This is wild. This is wild. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat about this, man. Are these guys too old to still be beefing like this? Or is it to the point where, hey, man, you got an enemy at a certain age, that's obviously going to be an enemy for life. You make an enemy at 30, and it's just like your enemy, like y'all got lawsuits back and forth. You got people get jumped at the award shows. Because remember, Rick Ross' team allegedly jumped gunplay. Not Rick Ross's team. 50 Cent's team, G-Unit, had allegedly jumped gunplay at the BET Awards ceremony, I believe, man, and put the beats on them. So it's always been up in that way too. So it's crazy, man. It's
one of my DMs.
It's crazy. It's crazy that this thing still hasn't ended, and these two are still seeing each other as ops or enemies in this rap game, man. Wow, man. I just wasn't on my bingo card to see these guys back beefing this heavily. But they both have been active on social media about this whole thing. You know what I mean? This is the post. Here you go. I wanted to find that post while you guys were in here and we were talking about this real quick. And let's bring this up. This post right here. Now, 50 Cent, excuse me. Now this says, Rick Ross responds after 50 Cent accusing him of kissing a man. I was with a beautiful black woman, Curtis. So basically, should we make that small? Nah, you guys are good. Let's see where this takes us.
Curtis. You're so infatuated with my lifestyle. You see me out on the yacht with a black, beautiful woman. And I hope you don't have anything against black, beautiful women, Curtis. I mean, what are you insinuating here? I mean, and we know you just had your heart shattered when you found out what we found out. We all found out together. And we know that's the mother of your youngest son, little Bruce Leroy. Man, but you gotta give a beautiful black woman an opportunity, Curtis. We know you may have been hurt, you're a hurt hoe, but get over it, man. Enjoy a glass of fine bubbles and move on in life. Be happy. Curtis. Hey, I need y'all.
Now, Rick Ross is all here for this beef, you could obviously see. You know what I'm saying? He's here for this, man. This ain't a situation where he feels, whoever put that picture of Bruce Leroy in the comments, man, you dead wrong, man. This is crazy.
I need somebody to send me some stills of Bruce Leroy, and I need one or two of the niggas show enough.
I'm with Official Key, man. Who's Bruce Leroy? Who's that?
Bruh.
Not funny, man. Not funny. I'm not laughing. Y'all are laughing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they said 2 weeks for 10 bands. Damn. Hey, I need y'all. I need some.
All right, they got music, so we're going to leave that alone. But y'all can see, man, this is the post that pretty much heated this beef back up. It's like they've been in a Cold War ever since 2008, 2009. And you know, there have been jabs back and forth between camps, but nothing like the activity we've been seeing recently. So this is the post. It says, your man was was looking real saucy, kissing that boy on that boat. That's not AI. Now, get it how you live. I don't judge. I don't care what's going on the yacht and who's saying what or who's kissing who, but let's just look at the footage of Rick Ross on this yacht to confirm what's being said here. Now, Rick Ross is holding somebody with some short hair, right? And some Daisy Dukes. I don't know. Hold up. Let me help y'all out too, man, because we're going to play detective here, right? And if we're going to play detective, we're going to do it right. So let me go ahead and, there y'all go. Shorten that for y'all so y'all get the whole picture. I don't want nothing missed. Because these are some crazy accusations. So that's the person. That's who he's holding. That's the boat. And I guess it was an advertisement or they were flexing on social media. But, you know, basically that's what was being said here. Do I believe it? Nah, I don't know, man. That's a wild accusation. Let's get a little closer. So there goes. Nah, I see a ponytail, bro. That one shot looks wild, but you can clearly see there's a ponytail right here, bro. Like, that's a lady. And not to say just because there's a ponytail, it's a lady, but, you know, that'd be wild to do a promo video, and that would be the time that you showed everybody you was hugged up with some dude on the boat. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being hugged up with somebody, with a dude on the boat if that floats your boat, man. I do not judge. I don't care. But that was the start of the beef between him and 50 Cent, man. And what got us back to this point where we got Rick Ross dropping posts, 50 Cent dropping posts, where they back dissing each other. This is crazy, man. Crazy, man. But before we go on, I wanted to play this one last time. What Rick Ross said in response to all that.
Beef, real beef. Well, I'm gonna say this. Beef, it could be complicated, but I done took 50 Cent youngest son, Bruce Leroy, AKA what? I done took him fishing before. And he loved when I do the what noise. You know, I used to see him all the time over there. But I guess one day his mom may have been creating content on Star Island somewhere.
That's wild, dog. The implications in that. Creating content on Star Island.
And he was
Rick Ross got jokes.
Walking around on his second lap. I invited him to the back of my crib. I put bread on a fishing pole, cast it. I watched Bruce Leroy catch his first Dover sole. Man, I felt proud. What? Little man, what's up, though? So 50, look, I mentioned your youngest son, Bruce Leroy.
That's why he keeps making those sound effects too. You know what I'm saying? You know, oh man, this is crazy. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. The fact that these two are back beefing heavily, and it's obviously behind the Diddy situation, is wild too. Because I mean, Diddy, he's still got a mile to walk, man. He's still got a long road to go. Because the judge could sentence him to 10 years maximum. He's looking at for both charges. I mean, a lot of legal professionals are saying he probably won't see that, but man, legal professionals have been wrong lately. I'm talking about super duper wrong. But let's continue.
Me taking him fishing for the first time, watching him catch his first Dover sole. That ain't a snapper. Now, but me and my buddies, we was talking about little man possibly suffering with trauma in the future. And I said, bruh, okay, that's something I never thought about, trauma. But if he is suffering from trauma or needs any assistance, I'm gonna be here for him. I would love to get him a puppy.
That is wild, bruh. Somebody offering to pay you to buy your son a puppy because his mom might have been in that case. I'm not for sure. I don't know for 100% sure that she was in that case because the person that they're saying was her was Jane Doe. So I'm gonna say she wasn't there, but alleging that she was the one in the case. That's wild, bro. That's wild, man. I don't know. Has 50 Cent met his match with Rick Ross? Are they always going to be at an even keel when it comes to roasting? Because Rick Ross obviously thinks about his jokes, plans them out, and executes, pretty well.
Message.
But with